Would you like to learn more about sensory deprivation? As human beings, we can experience some pretty incredible things in this world. Our senses give us a vibrant awareness of our surroundings. But what happens when we remove ourselves from our senses? Where do our thoughts go when we aren't processing the external world? What do we perceive when there is nothing to perceive? The sensory deprivation tank, also called the float tank, was designed to try and answer these questions. Modern float tanks come in many shapes and sizes, from small chambers to spacious rooms, but they all work the same way. Within the tank, the colors, tastes, smells, and sounds of the outside world fade away, leaving you with a truly unique opportunity to experience your inner self. The tanks are filled with warm, skin-temperature water, saturated with medical-grade Epsom salts, so your body is supported effortlessly, as if there were no gravity pulling on you. The tanks are also built to reduce external light and sound, so once you're inside, there is no external stimulation to your body. Within minutes, it becomes impossible to tell where the edges of your body are at all. Though the tanks themselves are fascinating, what happens to people who spend time floating inside them is even more interesting. Many people describe floating as the most relaxing thing they've ever experienced, and it's no wonder why. In the outside world, there are so many things that trigger our biological stress response. News, work deadlines, constant alerts and updates from our phones. But inside the tank, with no external stimulation, your body is completely free from stress. Even spending an hour in the tank gives your nervous system a chance to downregulate and stop the production of stress hormones, leaving you relaxed and recharged. Floating is helping millions of people manage their stress, anxiety, and even depression, and it can help you too. Physically, floating helps our bodies manage chronic pain and recover from injuries. The Epsom salts in the water have a natural anti-inflammatory effect, which eases aches and stiffness in our muscles and joints. Many people suffering from arthritis and fibromyalgia have found relief from their pain while floating. Being completely supported by the water below also allows your spine to decompress and elongate, easing any discomfort in your neck, back, or frame. Spending time away from processing the external world also gives our mind an opportunity to slow down and organize itself. Many people use their time in the tank to focus on their breath and deepen their meditation practice. Others use the tank for creative visualization, composing new music, drafting new literature, or even developing new business ideas. It may seem somewhat strange at first, but there truly is a whole world waiting to be discovered within yourself. And a sensory deprivation tank is the ultimate tool to access it. If you'd like to learn more about floating or try it for yourself, click below to discover more about the specific ways floating can help you. Are you struggling with chronic pain or an unhealed injury in your life? Most people don't consider how difficult it is to live with chronic pain. No matter who you are, when your body starts holding you back, things get a lot tougher. You might be suffering from arthritis or joint pain. You may be dealing with a painful back, knee, hip, or shoulder. Whatever your struggle, the impact in your life is significant, and easy solutions aren't always available. If you're currently looking for a way to manage your pain or recover from an injury, float therapy may be able to help you. Within a float tank, your body is suspended in skin temperature water, saturated with medical-grade Epsom salts. As you begin your session, you'll lay atop the surface of the water. You'll feel as if there's no gravity pulling on you. Your spine will straighten and decompress. Pain in your neck, back, hips, and knees will fade away, leaving you in a state of blissful calm. The Epsom salts surrounding you have a natural anti-inflammatory effect, which helps to reduce stiffness and swollen joints. Many people suffering from arthritis and fibromyalgia use floating to help manage their pain, saying that the tanks help reduce their pain levels for several days after each float session. The Epsom salts also help ease tension in sore or pulled muscles, speeding up recovery time from injuries. If you're an athlete, floating can help you heal faster. Many professionals float regularly and swear by the beneficial effects on their body and mind. Would you like to discover what floating can do for you firsthand? Click below to schedule your first float session with us now. Would you like help improving your mental or emotional well-being? For all the benefits of the modern world, we face some pretty steep obstacles when it comes to our mental health. We can access unlimited knowledge at our fingertips, but being hyperconnected carries some unfortunate side effects. Many of us feel caught in the constant stream of alerts and updates we receive. We often struggle to maintain a healthy balance with the technology we use, and if we don't take time to unplug ourselves and reset, stress, anxiety, and depression can all rear their ugly heads. But float therapy is helping millions of people disconnect, reset, and make their mental health a priority. Here's how. In the past, it was important that we could react quickly to threats in order to survive. When we perceive a threat or feel stressed, our sympathetic nervous system activates. This is known as our fight or flight response. When this happens, our bodies release stress-inducing hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. These hormones cause our heart rate to increase and our muscles to tense up, preparing our bodies to fight back against threats or escape dangerous situations. Unfortunately, in the modern world, we're often confronted by stressful triggers that only exist in our mind. If you're stuck in traffic, late for work, and getting angry texts from your boss, your fight or flight response can still activate. Your heart rate still increases, and your muscles still tense up. But because the perceived threat only exists in your mind, the stress hormones in your body stay active and build up, keeping you in a high-stress state. Over time, this can lead to anxiety, burnout, and even depression. If you've ever felt trapped in a high-stress mental state before, you know exactly how difficult it is to break free. But a float tank can make it easier. Inside the tank, you are cut off from all external stimulation, making it much easier to relax. As you settle in, your heart rate will begin to drop, and your muscles will release built-up tension. Once your fight or flight response has turned off, your parasympathetic nervous system can turn on, releasing calming endorphins and dopamine. After an hour in the tank, you'll emerge feeling reset, stress-free, and ready to return to the world at your full potential. Would you like to discover what floating can do for you firsthand? Click the button below to schedule your first float session with us now. Would you like to experience more profound results from meditating? Meditation is one of the best ways to focus and observe your own thoughts. But we live in a very distracting world. Between the constant noise of civilization, alerts and updates from our phones, and uncomfortable poses, it can be difficult to quiet our mind and truly feel the benefits of meditation. But a float tank might solve those problems for you. Inside a float tank, you'll be suspended weightlessly in skin temperature water and cut off from all distractions. There's no light, no sound, and virtually no input to your senses. Instead of struggling to ignore discomfort while holding traditional meditative poses, you'll float effortlessly on your back, blissfully relaxed and calm. Putting awareness on your breath, your perception of the external world will fade away, giving you the opportunity to consciously slow and focus your mind. When studying neural activity in humans, researchers often use EEG machines to measure the activity inside of our brains. As electrical and chemical impulses pass from one chain of neurons to the next, we can measure the frequencies of these impulses. We call these readings brainwaves. In waking life, we typically experience brainwaves in the beta and gamma range, between 15 and 70 hertz, or electrical cycles per second. This brain activity is useful for high-level information processing and quick response time, but it can also be indicative of high stress and anxiety in our lives. In deeper meditative states, brainwaves can drop between 4 and 12 hertz. These are known as alpha and theta brainwaves. In these lower brainwave ranges, the human mind enters a semi-conscious, almost dreamlike state, making it possible to let go of worldly attachment and experience profound emotional and spiritual growth. Some people spend a lifetime meditating to access these deeper states of mind. But current neuroscience research shows that a float tank can guide even beginning meditators into these alpha and theta brainwave states in as little as an hour. Would you like to discover how floating can help you improve your meditation practice firsthand? Click below to book your first float session with us now.